eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it unto whosoever he will. The same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar. So the same hour it was fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, until his hairs were grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails were like bird claws. And at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up my eyes to heaven, and my understanding returned unto me, and I blessed the Most High, and I praised and honored him, and liveth forever, that whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation, and all inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing. And he doing according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth. And none can stay his hand, and or say unto him, what doest thou? And at the same time my reason returned unto me. And for the glory of my kingdom, mine honor and brightness returned unto me. And my counselors and my Lord saw unto me, and I was established in my kingdom, and excellent majesty was added unto me. And finally, verse 37, now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven, all whose works are truth, and his ways in judgment. And those that walk in pride, he is able to abase. You may be seated. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord, but keep your Bibles open. We're going to use for a subject this morning the fall and the rise of Humpty Dumpty. Yeah, that's right. I said this sermon is about Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty, he had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty back together again. Now in this familiar poem, we are introduced to the tragic character of Humpty Dumpty. This is just a funny little nursery rhyme about an egg figure perched on a wall. But today, I want us to stop and take a closer look at Humpty Dumpty. The poem has a deeper meaning than it appears on the surface. Humpty was living a good life. Humpty was sitting high on the wall, and Humpty didn't have a care in the world. Humpty never had a fear of being punched, being boiled, or fried. Humpty never had a concern of becoming an omelet, a pan of quiche, or scrambled for breakfast. I'm talking about Humpty Dumpty. But one day, I said one day, as Humpty sat on top of the wall, something happened to Humpty. Suddenly, Humpty fell from the top of the wall, and Humpty crashed, landing at the bottom of the wall. Humpty was broken, and Humpty was shattered, and Humpty was fragmented. Yes, Humpty laid there, knowing that unless something drastic happened, his fall would be fatal. I'm talking about Humpty Dumpty. king, God took away. God took his position. God took his power, and God took his finances, and God took his resources, and God took even his own sanity. All in one moment. All of it was gone. Taken away by God. I said taken away by God because Nebuchadnezzar believed that he had done it all on his own. All with his own power. And God told us in the first commandment that we should have no other gods before him. And that was exactly what Nebuchadnezzar had done. He had made an idol out of himself. By using the word I and mine, Nebuchadnezzar had put himself in the place of God. And God pushed Nebuchadnezzar off the wall. I said, God pushed him off the wall. God gave Nebuchadnezzar 12 months to repent of his sins and turn back to him, but Nebuchadnezzar refused, and in the end he wound up just like Humpty Dumpty. Yeah, one moment he was sitting on top of the wall, and the next moment he found himself falling. And when Nebuchadnezzar fell and he hit the bottom, he became a shell of his former self. He was a broken man. He was unlike Humpty Dumpty. He has no one else to turn to. Yes, because when he called for the king, realized that he was the king, and he didn't have nobody else to turn to. No one else on earth could put Nebuchadnezzar back together again. There was no one else he could call on. His only hope was in the mercy and the grace of God. For 7 long years, Nebuchadnezzar lay at the bottom of the wall, broken and battered and out of his mind, living in the field with animals. But finally, he turned his eyes towards the only one who could help. He looked towards God, and even in the midst of his insanity and even in the midst of his brokenness, he called out to God for mercy and restoration. God heard the cry of Nebuchadnezzar's heart and restored all that Nebuchadnezzar had lost. Yeah, he restored his sanity, he restored his position, he restored his power, he restored his resources, and he restored his power. God picked Nebuchadnezzar up out of the pit. Yeah, that he had fallen in, and he placed him back on the top of the wall. And again, what the king's horses and what the king's men could not do, God could do. But this time, when Nebuchadnezzar stood on the wall, he was a man on top of the wall, and he was not the same anymore. He had been changed through the grace of God. He still had his power. He